Welcome to hell. There is no escape. There is no escape. You are in my control now. Welcome to hell.
And they'll take you one by one, and no one will hear you scream. No one will hear you scream.
Welcome to hell, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk About Horror, the horror podcast where your nightmares in reality meet. It's your boy Walterdoom back for another episode. I am back from the grave. So yeah, let's get into the show right now. We got a special guest here today for the show. She's an actress, a model, cosplayer, all the good stuff coming out from the UK, Claire Bacon. So yeah, we got her on the show today. We also got our slasher quarter movie of the week. So yeah, get ready to check that out. And in that, let's go ahead and start the show. She is an actress, model, cosplayer in the UK. She is in her own film, part of Trauma. And she has her own character called Slutty the Clown. So let's welcome Claire Bacon, everybody.
Hi, how are you?
How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Man, surviving.
Are we all?
Oh, yep. I just had to get you on this show because Val, he hit me up. He was like, oh my God, you need to talk to this actress. She's part of my movie,
Oh,
She is
it's
so
so
amazing.
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless him. Val's amazing. Such a great new director. He's got things going on. I'm so happy to be involved in any of his projects at this moment. Totally. Yeah, great. It's lovely to be here with you.
Yep. So yeah, I'm glad that we finally able to make it happen.
Between our
we had
differences
a bit
in
of
time
schedule.
zones, it's been a challenge, but we're finally here.
Yep. So now that you're finally here, I finally have Miss Claire Bacon on. First thing, how did you get into acting?
Literally kind of by accident. From what I was doing before, I was doing modeling, etc. before and other things. Literally, I was sent a casting for a fake trailer for Sheepdogs of the SS, which was a Trauma fake trailer.
Okay.
Which, if you go to the Trauma Now app, it's in Grindsploitation 9, and it was a fake trailer set up basically as me being turned into a super soldier after being a prisoner by Nazis. I took that casting, and literally that was for Trauma, and then literally after that they saw the Slutty the Clown character, liked it, and asked me to come on board to do a movie, and that's how I got there. It was by accident, really.
Okay. Fortunate.
Very fortunate, very lucky at the time. Right place, right time.
Yeah, that's always seems to be like the stories, like people that end up in like some of these professions, it's not necessarily they were trying to search for it. It's just like it so happened somebody saw
There's
something
so
in
many gifted people that work so hard, and I was so new to this, and it fell into my lap. It was like I was the right place, right time, definitely.
Yeah.
I was very lucky. I'm grateful every day for that.
Yeah. How'd you feel about your first role acting after you got it? Like, them telling you like, hey, you should be in one of our movies.
Even of doing the fake trailer, my role progressed pretty quickly from when I first casted for it, from being a smaller part to a bigger part. The director and me had messages with Lloyd, and then this Slutty the Clown character, which I'd had for 5 years previously, came up, which I created myself. and they liked it. It was actually quite crazy. It was one of those moments where I'm like, wow, is somebody actually wants to do this whenever? It was mad. I can't. I still like wake up every day and think, really, is this my life?
Yeah.
Did I get to do this right now? I mean, I'm 47 years old, and to come into something like that is crazy. It's a dream
Yeah.
come true.
Yeah.
People wait all their lives to be in a trauma movie, and I've got to be in a fake trailer and a trauma movie.
That's what's up.
Is it?
That's also amazing for like somebody your age, because I know Hollywood is always like, people have the Hollywood dreams and they want to get into
Oh,
acting. And people say, like, as women hit the age of over 30 or so, they're like, oh, well, you're too old, to be in a
it's
movie
a
or be a
crazy thing. As I
star.
say, it came out of nowhere, and to suddenly get that opportunity was absolutely crazy to me. I'd always kind of done my modeling, photography, and cosplays. I used to do event planning, etc., playing characters at things, but it was never really anything.
Yeah.
As I say, it came out of nowhere. I was incredibly lucky. A blessed
Yeah.
time where I was in the right place at the right time. Definitely.
Yeah, that definitely does a testament for those who are like around your age or around my age as well, or just even like people who are in their 30s or 40s, maybe even 50s
There
also.
is such many creative talents of all ages in this world, and you are very lucky. People can work for
Mhm.
years and
Yeah.
get nothing like that. It's a very good opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. That just says, like, don't
People work very hard.
settle.
There's so many more gifted people than me in this world.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like opportunity, it does say, like, don't settle, don't give up, keep
Oh
striving,
no,
keep
never.
doing.
I would say now, choose your best life. We don't live to work, we work to live.
Mm-hmm.
As such, it's like I don't think I could ever go back to a 9 to 5 now. I'm very blessed that I get to get up every day and it's Halloween.
Yeah.
I get to dress up every day and be anything I really want to. That is a pleasure in life, and I'm very privileged, to be able to do this as a job.
Yeah. So kind of going into like your different characters now, what would you say is like your favorite character that you've played
I'd
besides Slay the
say
Clown?
other
Besides Slay the
than
Clown.
Slutty my creation, as the original story 5 years ago, my first creation of making her, I would say Meredith from Diwali Mini at Bloodbath, which is
Okay.
my new character we borrowed. I'd say she's my favorite because before I always played, say, a villain or a bad guy or a vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
In Shadows of the SS, I played someone made into a super soldier.
Yeah.
Slutty's a vigilante style character. I have other characters like Nurse Rancid, who is a horror doctor who transmutates teddy bears and things. It's very strange, and I have lots of those characters. Playing Meredith for Diwali, I'm playing my own age for once.
Okay.
I'm playing a mother of grown-up children.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, the kill count that Balraj Khan has got with this, the way he's done it as the English Asian crossover slasher, which is the first of its kind, which is going to be featured also in Video Shop Tales of Terror 2 for Horror on Sea. It's such a nice thing to play such a different role out of me. I'm usually the bad guy or the villain, or I'm deformed, or I'm something crazy, and it's nice to kind of play someone very real,
Yeah.
even though
So
I'm still in my great horror genre.
yeah. So is there anything you could tell us about the project? Like that?
Oh, I can tell you little bits,
Okay.
but
If you can.
I'm
Nothing that
sworn
gives
to
away the
some.
film.
It's not. It's not. It's kind of covert. My character's got a lot more development.
Okay.
to come in this film from what we've done already. Everyone who's in on set and was there was amazing. The first round of filming was outstanding. I don't think I've ever been on a better, more family oriented, let's get this project done set. It was amazing. And we're back in September for finishing.
Okay.
It's going to be something like people have never seen.
Yeah.
It's a very English, Asian, British culture mashup.
Yeah.
The kill count is crazy.
Oh yeah, I already know. Bal is definitely like, he's like me. Like, we like movies to have
He's full
kill.
send, is Bal. He's full send.
Yes.
He doesn't go in by halves. He knows what he wants. He knows where he's going, and I respect that. I'm so happy to be a part of it and for him to bring me into it. I so am. And I said, I've got such a different role as Meredith. Sand Rooney Rafik on Instagram, who plays Sand, he's gonna scare everybody's pants off.
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that.
Scary guy. And he's smashed it. And as I said, there is some amazing actors in this movie.
Oh yeah.
I'm this big in this movie. The actor range is everyone, the effects people, the effects team, every single person, Jay Adams, April, Abby, Becky, everybody in that, Chloe, they're all just, it's been a labour of love. And of course, Bal's got Mother Mortis, which is coming soon to Trauma Noah.
Yep, I can't wait for that. I was looking for that on Trauma too.
Him and Jay Adams as Mother Mortis, who's also a sick effects artist, as well as playing Mother Mortis.
Jay is amazing.
Jay's sick. Jay is on point. This is going to be sick, Mother Mortis. I can't wait to see that myself.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like on tender hooks. Yeah. I think Diwali's going to blow a lot of people away, and I'm privileged to be involved. I've
talked to Jay and Bal before on an episode, and I mean, one thing I could tell, like, Jay, he's really into, like, he's pretty locked in when it comes into making
all I can say is the effects team on Diwali is going to blow everybody away.
Oh yeah.
My husband Rich did background photography, also behind the scenes, and helped with lighting, sound, etc. And some of the behind the scenes were actually all holding back because he smashed this. It's such a good project. We loved it. It was a great way. It was hard. Everything like that is when you love it, but what a great crew to work with. And it's going to blow people away. I guarantee you. Can't wait.
To kind of shift gears a bit.
Yeah,
let's go back to talking about, like, our difficulties with scheduling. I know one of the difficulties was you had a recent injury. Can you talk to us about that injury that you had?
An embarrassing injury. I mean, it could have been like, I've done so many stunts in films. I've done crazy stunts. Some of my clown swings are like 18, 20 foot high that I use in my films, etc. I've done running stunts, jumping stunts. I'm playing a wrestler very soon in Creeps at the gym. I do all that stuff. An old lady fell in my town, and I went to help her. And as I came around the corner, I rolled on my ankle. Rolled on my ankle. It was really simple. I've actually got severe ligament damage in 2 places. And soft tissue damage quite badly. And as you know, I've been crutches for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I came off them like, I think 5 days ago. I had physio the other day, and things are looking great. I'm doing really, really well. I worked on Diwali during that. Everyone was so great to me. Kept letting me to sit down, etc. I took my approach, but I managed to do all right. I was okay. But yeah, I'm on the mend. I'm on the mend with it, definitely. But yeah, silly injury for all the stunts I've done in my life.
Yeah, out of all the things, like, to get you injured, it's like, it wasn't like just like
I
swinging.
Anything, but no, just literally walk. Well, not even running. fast walking while helping someone else.
But see,
I
that
literally
tends
rolled
to
my
be-
ankle and had like a really bad injury.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes that tends to be like the injuries that get some of us. It's like, some
Yeah.
us do like
I mean, some of
dangerous
the
stuff.
stunts I've actually done are ridiculous. Now I've not had injuries on those. I've no idea. And
Yeah.
then you walk pretty fast. Yeah, you just walk a little too fast and then you roll your ankle. And it was very painful. I'll be perfectly honest. It's been incredibly painful, but it's on the mend definitely now. They said within 6 months I should be completely healed completely, and I'm doing incredibly well already. So that's good.
Okay. Okay. So how did you roll your ankle? Was it because like you picked her up, or was it like
No, literally, I feel what had happened was it was an uneven, you'd say sidewalk
okay?
pavement. And I had low grade, low ankle Adidas trainers on, Adidas trainers on, yeah. And I think as I've come around the corner, I've just kind of tipped a little bit, and I kind of felt my
Uh,
ankle fold like that. It kind of
uh,
folded, and I
yeah.
thought, oh, ow! And then I went to get up, and I couldn't stand on it, and then my foot just went
Oh,
and swelled. And I
oh,
went to A&E by the next morning because it was like I had a black sock on.
yeah, yeah. I've
It
seen the
was so
pictures
black
on
and
Instagram.
huge. So I went to A&E, accident and emergency, etc., the ER,
Mhm.
and they thought it was broken. I had a series of X-rays, and I saw a bone doctor, etc., and they were totally shocked. I hadn't, as I said, but I've actually torn two main ligaments down the sides, which apparently is quite serious for doing
Oh.
something nothing of walking.
It's like just an everyday thing, and just all of a sudden it's like you're out for 6 weeks.
You can run around in an abandoned building, swing on an 18-foot high swing with a large dildo bat like in Saints Row. But you hurt your ankle fast walking.
Well, here's the question. Were you still able to help the old lady?
Yeah, I actually stayed an hour and a half after I'd done that until I went home, and I couldn't get my trainer off, my sneaker off.
Oh, man. At least did she say thank you?
Um, this is awful. She was actually unconscious.
Oh,
So
oh,
the ambulance, the EMT, until the EMT came, she was actually unconscious.
oh, man, that's
She cracked her
terrible.
head and everything. It was quite serious, and I felt really bad because I'm limping around. But I did stay. I did stay. I don't know what happened. I've not heard what happened to her. I'm sure she was fine once they got to her.
Hopefully she is fine. Well, that's an interesting, because I thought it was an interesting thing that happened, and I saw the pictures on Instagram, and I was like, man, what
But it was so much
happened?
cooler if I'd have been doing a stunt.
Yeah, I thought it was like a on the set injury. I'm just like,
I'd
man,
have
what was this
hoped
lady
just for my
doing?
cool rating.
Yeah.
Definitely top 10 embarrassing.
Definitely. It's okay. We've all had embarrassing moments. I've injured myself before. I did like this whole little I don't know if you ever seen the movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like the 90s one. So it was like from the part 2 movie. It was a scene. I don't know if you remember, but it was like these mutated turtles and whatever that the TMNT was fighting. And
Yeah,
like
like the evil, yeah, like the evil music. I do actually. I do
yeah,
remember that. Yeah.
yeah. So they were fighting in this club where Vanilla Ice was performing, right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah. Oh, completely.
Yeah. So like there's this move where like I forget who did. I think it was either Michelangelo or Donatello. They did like a handstand and they did like a kick and whatever. So me, I'm like, I want to say like I'm either 6 or 7 years old. Every little boy that's adventurous, right? So I'm like, oh, that looks like fun. So back then, like
I
in
have
my
two grown boys,
Yeah.
of my own.
Uh,
One is 29
yeah.
tomorrow, and one is 22. I've seen this. There is nothing like a WWE SmackDown between boys. I've heard some crazy sounds of banging and like head cracks. Walked into the living room and thought, what are you doing? Have you killed each other? Teenage and child boy thing. You just literally throw yourself in head first. I've seen this. I've seen this with teenage boys and little boys.
Oh
If
man.
you don't break themselves or crack their heads a few times a day, they're not living.
Yep. Yep. I mean, little boys like to get hurt, and I was just like that too. So
I've had that with my children, definitely.
So my thing was like, because we had a rocking chair in the house, right? I was like balancing myself, doing the move on the rocking chair. Somehow, some way, that rocking chair, I moved a certain way, and the rocking chair moved, and I ended up falling over and breaking my hand. I think I was in a cast for like a month or so.
Oh, honestly, every time I would leave my boys in the front room, you go out of the room and you'd hear something, and you go back into the book, it's not like nothing had happened. To be like,
Yeah, we'll act like nothing happened. They'll be like, what happened? Why are you here?
and you do think, I'm sure I had somebody's skull go, terrible. Doing like absolute like full slap downs and like clotheslining each other in the front room. Boys is boys.
Oh yeah, boys will be boys, honestly. Yeah. So I mean, that was pretty much an embarrassing injury. Funny enough to say, that was like probably like my first and only super serious injury, because I was in a cast for a while. And
Have you watched any of my podcasts about my injuries over the years? No, we won't go there. If you watch the Hammersville Horror with Don Marie and Clint Myers, we talk about injuries I've had over the years.
Oh,
I've
really?
been very lucky. Same again with this foot. I'd rather have done this one on a stunt, because some of the stunts I have done, I have injured myself in the past. But I'm hoping I've got rubber burns at this point.
Oh man, did you injure yourself while you were doing Slutty the Clown?
Actually, I did at one point, using the bat, the Saint Row style bat.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because how we made it,
Yeah.
that was made at home in our kitchen.
Okay.
With me, my husband, and the director. We made it. You've never seen anything funnier than someone drilling down the end of that to put a softball bat handle into it. You've never seen anything funnier than that when it's spinning.
Yeah.
But anyway, when you're going like that, it kind of recalls back.
Mm.
And you've seen the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great respect to the actress who played the girl in that, because it kind of was on a tangent where we both got hurt.
Oh.
By accident, just playing a scene because of how it kind of went around. Unfortunate to say. My boots fell off.
Oh, really?
During filming Slutty. Basically, everyone worked incredibly hard on that film in a very short space of time. We filmed that film in 9 days.
Oh, okay.
On set with no facilities, camping in an abandoned building in November.
Yeah, because it did eventually rain. It did eventually rain in one of the scenes.
That was the end scene. That's real. That's completely real. The rain, the sound, everything. And it was the last day. It was that dark, and we were trying to pack up at that point. That was the last scene.
Okay.
But yeah, it was hard work. And on, I think, the last day of filming, there's when I'm chasing through the building and there's a fire and I jump over the fire.
Yeah.
My boots literally disintegrated.
Oh.
They fell apart. So for 2 more scenes after that, we taped them on the best we could. And then I had to swap with one of the girls because my boots fell off my feet.
Yeah, so going back to Slutty the Clown, how did y'all go about like finding that location as the lair? Because that was a very interesting location.
Right. I think you've mentioned to me before when we've spoke about urban exploration, urbexing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's literally how I started.
Okay.
Was in urban exploration, urbex, exploring abandoned buildings, documenting them, taking photos. It kind of came to a point where we're like, what else can we put into this? And we started taking sort of masks, dresses, horror appliances out with us. And it took off incredibly quickly, and then the modeling took off. That location basically is an old one of mine. It's an old brickworks in Halifax in England, which basically, as it says, they used to manufacture bricks to build houses. It's a little hidden gem. I have a lot of those little hidden gems because of what I used to do, and that's kind of what inspired me to do everything I do, those kind of locations.
Okay. How'd you feel like when you actually went back to that location? You were like, oh yeah, I used to like film around here, take pictures,
Yeah, basically, we looked at locations with the director, and we took him, me and my husband, who's been doing it's quite a long time, literally took him around a few locations and said, well, this could be great for it. And we picked that. And it's nice because kind of urbex is where kind of my heart is in a way, but I don't get to use it like I used to. Kind of the filming and the modeling took over a little bit. It's nice to be back in those settings every single time. And I think if you've looked at anything or anybody does on any of my accounts, there's like a consistent theme to crazy locations and characters. It's kind of what I do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Bal will appreciate that because he likes to look for crazy locations as well. Like
he does. The location we have for Diwali is amazing.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see what that looks like.
It's amazing. It's a beautiful, blown away by it. Great, absolutely amazing. Oh, and this time I didn't have to climb over a 16-foot fence like most of them.
Right. Yeah. So going back into Slutty the Clown, how did you come up with the character? Like, what was the inspiration for the character? Like,
as I just started doing abandons and modeling, and as you can probably tell with me, I'm super into horror. I've always been in that genre. I love the darker stuff. Literally, it started off the first time. It was a Pennywise cosplay.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I know she looks completely different. But there's evidence on it on my accounts. I think it was about 5 years ago. And I thought, what can I do with a kind of, I'd seen a lot of girls do Pennywise cosplays, and I wanted it to be a lot more sinister and darker. And I thought, what can I do? And I had a go. And within that time to the next time, I thought, let me try it again. She was Slutty the Clown. And I got the makeup right, and she had a name, she had a persona, she had certain colorways, the way she dressed. It was all a backstory, even as silly as it sounds. In my own head, and that's kind of how some of my characters go.
Yeah.
She was born very quickly, but yeah, she started out as something quite. A lot of people identify with like Harley.
Yeah.
And she's got elements of Harley Quinn because it's what most people only identify her as a horror or a comic book clown.
Yeah.
It's kind of the only female clown they can identify with.
Yeah, she's
but
very,
it was very much
psycho.
darker. It was more Pennywise based with sort of sweet elements. She kind of has that girly twist, but she's crazy and she will kill you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I noticed she's a super psychosexual clown. Which really like
she was always kind of made as a sexually frustrated killer.
Yeah,
that was kind of always the idea behind her. Trauma took it to the limit because it's trauma, obviously. But yeah, she always has that sinister. My friend came up with it's I don't know what this channel allows, but my friend came up with the tagline for Slutty, which was "You don't know whether to come or cry." It's like you don't know how to feel about her. She's quite in your face, sexual, but she's scary.
Yeah,
that was the point. You kind of don't know how to feel about her.
Yeah,
It makes you confused. I think that was always the point with her.
yeah. I think that's how I felt when I was watching the film. I was like, I don't know how to
Then I did
feel.
my job. I'm still confused. I did my job.
Yep. So, kind of going more into Slutty the Clown movie. What was the story behind the opening scene? Because it starts off with Slutty the Clown torturing like this victim in like this S&M mask, and she's just doing tic-tac-toe on her
I
tits.
think for myself, that's kind of a scene set to her games and
Mhm.
how she plays things. You know, it's like everything's like a twisted version of a game
Yeah,
for her. And to her, she needed like a stooge or a dolly or a plaything
yeah.
to kind of mess with. It's her version of her toys.
Mm,
You get what I mean? And the
yeah,
premise, I feel, is to set the scene of that's kind of how her mentality works. That she has a brain as much as that everything's just there for her plaything. I also think as well she has a bit of a vigilante kind of thing that like it's like don't mess with what you know and bad people get bad things happen to them
yeah, yeah.
in a
Which is
kind
what
of a way.
happens.
Yeah. It's been said a while and I feel that's what I kind of like is I feel Lamar and that from Perfect Third said, you know, she's a cautionary tale. Don't
Yeah,
fuck with other people's things or else she'll fuck you.
yeah, yeah. That's literally what it was. I mean, especially with those two girls that came in, they just came in, fuck with Slutty the Clown stuff.
I know. And actually, great ups to my best friend, who is one of those girls, who actually came on set and manned it, Lauren Annetts, who is the girl with the Nerf gun.
Was she? Which one was she? Was she
It's
the
the girl with the Nerf gun tits and the very short booty shorts.
the? Oh, okay, with the shorts on. Okay, okay. I had to
That's my
remember
best
which
friend,
one it
Lauren.
was.
Big props to her for actually doing that for me and just coming in on set and being great. She's an internationally published model and it's not a normal thing.
Okay.
But she manned it and she's hilarious. She's naturally hilarious. But I
Okay.
mean, bless the kind of thing of trying to kill your best friend on set without laughing is very difficult.
That I can relate because I did like a small little film once with my sister, and I had to be afraid of my
Wow.
little sister, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just couldn't help but laugh on set because I'm like, yo, like, I'm supposed to be afraid of her. That's kind of hard.
Actually, on Diwali Maniac Bloodbath, the best man Michael is my nephew Aaron Hakim.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, and he's done such a great job. He's at drama school in London at the moment. He's up and coming, and to work with my own nephew on set in an Asian English slasher when half my family is Asian, and he's from my Asian side of the family was absolutely amazing. It
Oh,
was so great.
nice.
But to work with my nephew also and see certain things in a movie and be like, oh, his mother's going to kill me.
That's too funny. Yeah,
I think, oh my god,
this
his mother Pavine. I was like, Pavine's going to kill me. What have I brought him into?
you have to explain like this is just a movie. This is not what we're doing in real life.
Movie. It's fine. B movie horror has that thing where it doesn't have to be great. It
Yeah.
just has to be watchable and for someone to enjoy it. The most thing I've ever wanted in my life is for that kid in 20 years' time to be sat in his basement and find this really crazy movie and think it's the best thing he's ever seen. And that
Mhm.
will make me happy. That would make me happy. In 20 years' time, some little geeky kid goes and finds this movie and goes, wow, this is awesome. Then I'm happy.
Oh, definitely. So, what would you say, like, for kids who are trying to get into like acting? Like, what would your advice be to them?
I think it would be to get yourself out there, make sure you're known. I'd also say, as silly as it sounds, regional theatre, or even these days, things like TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
like becoming a character, YouTube videos. I'd also say find good people to work with, find
Mm-hmm.
genuine people to work with, because I find in this industry there's a lot that aren't, and it's a pitfall, especially for young actresses and actors, as we all know. I
Yeah.
feel explore what you're good at. If horror's your thing or whatever's your thing, then go for it. I'd say network with people in horror communities, because I found people are wonderful and lovely and really nice. And especially if we're talking about horror connections,
Yeah.
we all love what we watch and what we do, and we're all fans. And it's like these people will support you and will sort of point you in the right direction. Watch movies is another thing that Balraj Khan will say to you every time. Watch
Mm-hmm.
movies, watch what other people are doing, and kind
Yep.
of find your own niche in that of what you like to do. That's kind of what I would say. And don't rush yourself. I was thrown into it when at a time when I didn't even know it was coming. As I
Yeah.
said, people work for years and years, but there's plenty of people that work for years and years and it still comes late. You know, there's
Yeah.
plenty of great actors that get great opportunities later in life. You know.
Yeah. Definitely. That's definitely good advice. Because I feel like nowadays there's so many outlets that someone could take. They don't have to take literally the traditional role half the
Oh
time.
no, we're in a really good age for independent film.
Yep.
We've got things like Netflix, etc., doing series and bringing new actors from all over the world in for projects that we would never have seen with our TV or, say, cable would have been in years gone past.
Yeah.
It's a good time. There's so many good writers, producers, and directors now. And again, I keep
Yeah.
going back to the love horror, but in horror especially. And
Yeah.
horror seems to be getting a resurgence, especially in, say, 80s and 90s horror, even 70s horrors, things like Chainsaw Massacre, etc., and Halloween, and those things. It's all resurging.
Yep.
It's like everything's coming back round. I don't know what you think, but I feel like we have a time for these new independent filmmakers to come out and make really good horror.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely a good time. This is a time that's better than anything else. Well, any other
Yeah,
time before.
it is a really good time. Whereas a lot of years, as we know, Hollywood hates horror. It
Yeah.
doesn't do a
Yeah.
lot for it. But I do
Yeah.
feel like, as in Lloyd's campaign for getting shitstormed to the nominations as he tried so badly, and I feel, the New York Times did a post about that because of that. And it's like it's a time where I feel we're in a new age where we can do a lot more on film.
Yeah.
In the mainstream. I
Oh
mean, even
yeah.
God, if you're into comic book, I mean, if we look at the new Doctor Strange movie, Sam Raimi. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, no spoilers, but it reeks of Evil Dead. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
does.
Oh yeah, it
It's
definitely does. It definitely has its horror elements in it.
it's definitely got that chops in it, and it's like, can you imagine if it had been not Marvel and could have done a lot more?
Yep.
What could they have gone to? But I mean, I really enjoyed it. But as I'm saying, it's like there's a resurgence. There's a lot more understanding and acceptance and support for horror now than there's ever been since the 80s, I would say.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, just to like kind of like close in on it. So for me, I just feel like now, nobody shouldn't be, too upset or just be complacent with like not being able to make it, because it's like if you have a camera, if you have people that are willing to
Oh,
help, make the
what is it
film.
that Lloyd says? Make your own damn movie.
Yep.
And he's so right.
Yep.
You go out and you do it for the price of what you got in your pocket. And Bal will agree every time yet again. He's a good friend of mine, as you know. And
Yep.
it's like you go out and you do it for the love, and you've got all the time in the world. Plenty of
Yep.
people make it late or
Yep.
make it on a fluke.
Yep. Yep. It's like even if it's not perfect, you
Doesn't
could
have to
add,
be.
yeah, you could at least say, I did it, you know?
And this is the point. And I didn't realize this, obviously being new in. But people have said to me, any acting role, you got an acting role. You did that. And it's kind of, once you start doing it, you realize that's so true. And it's like even the tiniest things, even down to my little cosplays or my little photo shoots I've done that I'm super proud of, that probably a handful of people saw.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. If you're producing that and enjoying it, it's a time where we can all do what we want. People are shooting movies on iPhones.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Definitely.
And they're getting credit and getting seen. And it's a new age. It really is.
Yep. So anybody out there, just know, like, you know, if you have that dream, go for it. You know,
make your own damn movie. There's
Make your own damn movie
every time. Make your own damn movie.
Yep. All right. So before we close out, because we are running out of time right now, where do you see your character, Slutty the Clown, in 5 years?
I guarantee you in 5 years we will either at least have a sequel,
Okay.
or a requel.
Okay. that is a thing. Scream made it a thing.
Oh, don't get me started there. We'll still be here. Massive Scream fan. We'll be here for a long time.
I love Scream. I love Scream ever since I was young.
I am a huge, strong female character fan. So obviously Neve Campbell, Sidney Prescott is a dream character for me, and the way that she's brought that franchise forward, and everyone else in it. I mean, it's so beautiful. You know, it's such a great franchise if you're into horror. But yeah, as I'd say, I would say she's going to at least have a sequel, a requel, or maybe even a series of shorts. She could be the multiverse now. Everyone's doing the multiverse. You could do Slutty versus Jason in space. You could do anything you want with her.
Yep,
she's such a versatile character. In 5 years' time, you'll have seen her a lot more. Guarantee you that. Definitely
Can't wait to see what that looks like, because I feel like, I don't want to say that the ending kind of disappointed me, but I was like, I think I was expecting more and more.
You needed more. It seems like the pretension is everybody needs more.
Yeah.
Trust me. She's not going anywhere. She's be back very soon.
Yeah. Hopefully with a bigger body count, you know.
Oh, I'm working on it. I can't say too much, but there's things in
Okay. Yeah, we won't mention it.
We shall reconvene on our next interview.
Definitely. So before I let you go, can you do the Slutty the Clown laugh one time?
Of course. Give me a second. I'm a bit hoarse.
Oh, I feel you. Will that do? Yes, it will. All right. Thank you, Claire, for coming on to the show.
You are so welcome, and thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yep. And if you guys want to follow her on Instagram, her Instagram is CM Bacon. So definitely follow her on there. Check her out in Diwali, coming out pretty soon under Apotheosis, you know. And yeah. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This has been great. Thank you, Waller.
All right. All right, as y'all know, we are now in the Slasher Corner, where I have a must-watch Slasher Corner movie of the week. And this week's Slasher Corner movie is Incantation. It's on Netflix, and I'm not going to give away too much about like what the film is about. It's a film that came out this year. It's an Asian film, and all I got to say is, if you can't handle something that deals with possession, or it's a little bit on the more scarier side of things, this is not the movie for you. No bullshit at all. This movie is probably like the scariest movie that has came out this year. And probably one that I'm gonna forever remember, you know, for the rest of my life. But other than that, yeah, check out Cantation on Netflix. Definitely watch it. It's a good film. You guys really enjoy it if you really like spooky stuff. For those that are not into really scary movies, definitely don't check this one out. But other than that, I'm gonna sign out for today. This has been another episode of Let's Talk About Horror. I'd like to give a shout out to my boys Algorythm-C and Kelly the Wolf for supplying the beats to this show. If y'all want to follow me, it's the Walterdoom on TikTok and Twitter, and Walterdoom on Instagram, and Walterdoom everywhere else that involves streaming and YouTube. And other than that, I'm signing out for today. It's your boy Walterdoom signing out. Let's talk about horror. This is America. Don't let them catch you slipping now. Shout outs to the audience that listen to the podcast. Y'all the real MVPs though. So peace out, Team Doom. Peace.